Welcome back to another episode of Resurrected Retros. Today we are going to be talking about the 1994 to, I believe, 1996 Fantastic Four animated series. It is the one from the 90s, and so this is going to be part of a future Marvel crusade that I'm going to be doing up till Doomsday. But this is the 90s Fantastic Four animated series. If you have not seen it, I highly suggest you go and watch it before we break this video down. And I know that this is sort of a skewed review. It's hard to review shows like these because, well, the plots are very simplistic. There's a lot to sort of break down. I'm not a comic book expert, but what I can say is that the show is adapted very well from the Fantastic Four comic books. In fact, when you look it up, you can see which episodes correlate with which comic books and which issues of the Fantastic Four and which runs in particular. And one of the things I like about this show is the fact that it's something that it gets the Fantastic Four right, and that's why I mean that. That's what I mean by including the comic book sort of integration with the show. It was showrunner. The showrunners were the same from the same people as Iron Man, and so much like the Iron Man animated series from the '90s, the show is very different from season one to season two. So without going any further than I need to, I will say right here, spoilers, and I'm not going to try and spoil too much, but I'll just say I'm just going to talk about it. But it is canon to the rest of the 90s Marvel cartoons like The Incredible Hulk, the X Men series, or not Fantastic Four, because this is Fantastic Four, and Spider Man, Iron Man. They're all connected. You have to watch them in a certain order to understand the canonical connections. Some of them are a little bit out of order. It's a little weird how they have it, put together. But Silver Surfer's in there. We see Namor is in there. We see the Hulk appear. That's how you tie in the Hulk TV show with the Fantastic Four TV show. And much like the Iron Man series, as I was getting into earlier, season one is vastly different from season two because they were showrun by different people. And so season two was ran by a guy named Tom. I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Tarnowitz, I think. I am butchering that name, and I apologize. But with season two, Tom came in, and he helped fix up Iron Man, and he helped fix up Fantastic Four, and he basically got the show running for Spider Man and the X Men and Silver Surfer from then on to have a clearer vision. And so Daredevil shows up in season two. We got Doomsday, or is the title of the finale of season two. We have Galactus shows up many times. Silver Surfer is done properly. One of the things I love about the 90s cartoons is that it is just proper adaptations of the comics. Sure, it's not perfect. There's no way you could perfectly adapt comic book material. I will state that right now. It's very difficult to do. But in animation, you pretty much come damn near close. And this show is a good example of how well the Fantastic Four can be adapted when adapted right. And so I always say that Fantastic Four is one of the hardest things to adapt and why we will never get a really proper adaptation of the Fantastic Four. But the closest we have gotten in any form of adaptation was the animated series from the 90s. Now, I have not seen the animated series from the 60s or the early 2000s, so I cannot speak for those shows just yet, but maybe very soon down the line I will cover them. But for now, talking about the 90s animated series, the voice acting was incredible, the animation was stellar. Season two, in my opinion, is still better than season one because of the change in tone. Obviously, you have a well done thing. Thing is done, in some cases for me, a little bit annoying, but nonetheless, they got Ben Grimm right. They got Reed Richards right. They got Sue Storm and Johnny Storm right. They understood the family dynamic of these four characters and how they are played into the Marvel Universe as a whole. And so, if you ever want a reference point for how the Fantastic Four should be adapted and should be respected, watch the 90s animated series of Fantastic Four. I believe it's from 1994 to 1996. I could be wrong about it. I think it might be 94 to 95. I don't know. I have to look it back up. But it's a shame that it got canceled after 2 seasons, especially when both that and Iron Man had a solid second season to sort of pick up for the missing pieces of the first season. Because the first seasons of both shows, arguably, well, Iron Man's first season wasn't as good as the second season. It was a little bit cheesy and campy, and it didn't work for me that much. Season 2 of Iron Man definitely worked a lot better. But season 1 of Fantastic Four was still pretty solid with things like the Mask of Doom, the incursion of the Skrulls, the Silver Surfer arc. There was so much good stuff from the season 1, but season 2 still carried over with characters like Daredevil appearing, Iron Man, Thor showed up in there. They had Ego, the Living Planet. There was a lot to love about the season 2 of Fantastic Four, and yet season 1 I still consider to be pretty well done. So I don't really know what else to add to the conversation about this animated series because, to be honest, when something is really good, right, you just say, it's good, go watch it, right? And so I do my best to try and come on here and say, this is why I like it, this is why I think it's good. But maybe that doesn't apply to everybody else. And whenever something's bad, I can rant for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But please, if you have the time and you have the means, go check out Fantastic Four from the 90s, the animated series. You will not regret it if you are a fan of comic books and superheroes and the Fantastic Four. It is the proper adaptation of the characters. I highly suggest it for Resurrected Retros. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in another video very soon.